How many of you remember the old days? You know, when there were miles of emptiness and road between here and nowhere. And after having eaten Mom's lunch in that brown bag, or perhaps even making that special stop at McDonald's about 60 miles back, you were instructed to very carefully tend to all of your trash in the car. Stick it into one bag so that you could keep the car clean. And get enough weight in the bag so that when you hucked it out the window, you would achieve a proper distance. Times change, of course, and hopefully for the better. But often those changes only occur when the broader implications are realized. For forerunners and visionaries, these changes offer opportunity. But often, we don't know the real implications. There's one change that we are all in the midst of that I expect everyone in this room will be able to relate to in some way. Because, well, let me ask you a question. Why don't I get some hands on how many people in the room today enjoyed some sort of tasty hot beverage this morning? How many of you took it to go? How many of you took it in a paper or plastic cup? You and nearly 1 million other people in New York City today. At Vessel, we're applying a shared value model to close the gap on talking about sustainability and being sustainable. Because you see, currently, every year, we're trashing upwards of 98 billion paper cups. Unfortunately, because of a plastic lining and the fact that the scrap industry refuses to set a market price, these cups are not being recycled. This causes significant ecological damage and problems such as the 7.9 billion pounds of plastic-lined paper waste that end up polluting soil, fresh waters, and oceans. When these cups do end up in landfill, they also create damage because you see, paper is an organic material. And in the landfill, it decomposes and produces a methane gas. Now, methane gas, it's 21 times more harmful to the environment, to the atmosphere, than CO2. Perhaps even more problematic is the perpetuation of completely unsustainable norms, where it's okay to use something for a matter of minutes, only to then relegate it to hundreds of years of polluting. Now, there has been momentum to address the issue, and alternatives are being developed, such as PLA or compostable cups. They've been implemented, but you see, unfortunately, because we don't have the systems to support those new models, such as citywide compost, and even in the cases that we do have those systems, the sheer volume overwhelms those systems, we're again creating all that methane gas when these compostable materials end up in landfill. Now, some cities are considering a ban of disposables altogether. But where does that leave businesses dependent on disposables? And just as importantly, where does that leave all of you and me and the rest of our highly mobile, on-the-go culture? Well, it leaves us with a massive market opportunity. And at Vessel, we are redefining the status quo of to-go. And we're reconceiving the cycle of disposability. We're using a shared value model to address all of those issues at the root. And in doing so, we are fulfilling a need for businesses and consumers. I'd like to introduce you to your new disposable cup. Vessel. Let me give you a little taste of how we are connecting multiple stakeholders in order to redefine this cultural status symbol with a seamless service that removes the disposable without interrupting business and without causing consumer confusion. Take a look. With Vessel, everyone wins. As a customer, you sign up online or in person for free. You walk into a cafe, you order your drink in a Vessel, you walk out the door with a shiny, elegant, insulated by the way, stainless steel mug. You have 5 days. Keep it. Drop it off in the next 10 minutes at the same place or any of our other conveniently located drop spots across town. You're incentivized to participate. You get feedback on how much waste you've diverted from landfill, gamification opportunities to win free coffee and other prizes, or you can upgrade to value-added services. Some of us might not want them, such as quantified self, how much caffeine did we consume this week? Or perhaps the insider stories about the people and the places behind your coffee that you've impacted with your purchase. Cafes win. Businesses face no initial upfront costs. There are no barriers to adapting the service. We provide the vessels. We provide the infrastructure. We handle the collection, the washing, the distribution. Our tech-enabled vessels allow us real-time access to monitoring our inventory so we can ensure there's a clean vessel always within an arm's reach. Further, businesses gain brand value for being green. They become part of a citywide network. They reduce their waste costs, and we keep their brand out of the trash. As we charge a per-use fee, they face very little risk in adopting the service, but stand to gain a lot, including the very real reduction of the costs of purchasing those disposables. For our sponsors, well, they put sustainability into their customers' hands. Partnering with us is a chance to reach a highly visible, extremely novel marketing channel with brand presence that's in person, that's in public, that's in offices, that's in homes, that's in cafes. Vessel is literally everywhere. And our service and infrastructure represent the next generation of sustainability. Even if your customers don't relate to sustainability, they're going to relate to a tasty beverage, a sleek mug, and the feel-good experience our service provides. Think city bike, but with about twice as much exposure at about 40th the cost. Cities gain a revitalized circular economy because we take those millions that are currently spent on collecting and landfilling and keep that money out of the trash and put it back into the local economy. We build low-wage jobs, and we build the infrastructure and behavior change for cities to get that much closer to achieving their zero-waste goals. The city, I mean the society, us, we, all of us, our children, and environment win. Because beyond the positive ecological impacts of keeping all that waste out of the environment, on the front side of disposables production, we save 20 million trees, which is a triple win given the fact that those trees alive are capturing CO2 and producing oxygen for us. We avert the production of 13 billion pounds of CO2 from the atmosphere. We save 12 billion gallons of water. And society? Well, society gains a vision, a very important vision that sustainability does not only reside in some ivory tower. Sustainability resides in the everyday, in our everyday actions. It is attainable. It is elegant. It is accessible to everyday people, and not just as something to be sacrificed, but as something to be desired. Well, in Vessel, we win too with a nifty little profit, and we've completed several successful proof of concept pilot projects here on the very tough crowds of New York City. We're currently working with cities, sponsors, investors, and our donors to launch a full-scale implementation of Vessel. Our scope is wherever single-use disposables persist, and the opportunities abound. In cities, corporate campuses, universities, between transportation hubs, cities are really thrilled, and corporate campuses are really excited at the chance to have in-house infrastructure that engages millennial staffers, allows them to show sustainability, initiative, and give a little boost in the morale. They were talking about legacy companies just before, and it is the very legacy companies themselves that are really excited to start demonstrating this. So while you may not think paper cups are ridiculous, I'll tell you what. When I tell that trash story to my undergraduate students at Parsons School of Design, they can't fathom it. I bet that when you leave, you yourself might start noticing the trash and all the paper and plastic cups in the trash. So start using Vessel to drink your tasty beverages. You can go to our website to request a location or sponsor us in a local, national, or even global market. Because your kids are definitely going to think paper cups were ridiculous. Thank you very much.